days, as we observe teachers asking students to share out. So let's quickly have either a volunteer or a victim to share out. Who would like to volunteer or be a victim? If not, I'll give the eagle eye to someone. What you're going to share out is what's one thing that worked well in your classroom based on the strategies.
I'll share out.
Okay. Well, let's go. However, in most of the classrooms, as we asked a student to share out, we had most of the teachers say, "Don't look at me as the teacher, look at the speaker." And in a few of the classrooms, the teacher didn't have to say that because the students shifted their bodies to observe the speakers. If it's built into your culture in your classroom, then you have a student share out and they automatically track the speaker. What you've done here is built the culture of academic conversation as a whole group share out. If you need to remind our clients, hey, who's the speaker? Point to the speaker. Because what you're going to be able to do is either agree with the speaker or respectfully disagree, or you're going to elaborate. Okay, so go ahead.
And you'd like us to share what was successful?
Yes, please.
Okay. The three of us felt that SMART was immediately successful and very easy to transition into that. Choral response is a little more challenging at their level with the range of students, with the very low-level kind of student who really hasn't been exposed to a lot of language, English language. Choral response isn't a given, whereas at my level I've been doing it and it's very successful and easy to do, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the three of us have done Think, Pair, Share. I'm going to work towards numbered heads together. We're using sentence frames, really essential at the low levels to frame sentences in general. At my level, the students are still struggling with framing or saying a good complete sentence, especially in my PLD group. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody would like to add on to our colleagues' conversation? Or be a bit more precise? Please, first name again? Heather, right? Everyone say good morning, good afternoon to Heather. Good afternoon. So I heard that in classroom today once. So fantastic. Very effective. However, it doesn't always have to be, look at the speaker, say something to the speaker. The task here is if Heather is the speaker, they all know to track the speaker. So thank you, Heather. Go.
We were talking about SMART. We agreed that it was really effective, and what we were discussing was that even when you switch groups, because there's a lot of switching that goes on at our school, it was nice that it was school-wide. You didn't have to reteach it if you had another group and you said, show me SMART, show me these, the kids would do it right away, so that was positive.
Thank you, thank you. I work in a very comprehensive district as well, and they share students within elementary schools. There's 13 elementary schools within this district. And while we were observing this classroom, a teacher received a new student, second grade, and the teacher had the rest of the kids work in a Think, Pair, Share, greeted the student, and told the student today we're doing a Think, Pair, Share, and the student interrupted the teacher and said, at my old school, I was partner B. That student told the teacher, hey, I know the structures and routines. Just ask the question now. Anita Archer talks about procedures and routines so that kids automatically know the conversation about a Think, Pair, Share. The procedures, knee to knee, eye to eye. So that once they know the procedures, the cognitive demand is more on the question versus on how to talk to my partner. That's the reason why we're spending a lot of time with the procedures and routines. So please, think about the number of times you practice with our students. Emma, everyone look at Emma, please. And in Emma's classroom, she noticed that students needed practice partnering before she asked the question. So she set it up very nicely. Get ready. Show me what does it look like when you work with your partner. So she set that up, and then they came back. And then she asked the question, and then she said, oh, don't tell your partner yet. Let's practice. Let's whisper it to our eyelashes, I believe. And it looks like this. So they did that. And then she said, pair. They knew the conversation. They knew the procedures already. So when you think about why we're spending the time with the objectives today, we're going to continue to take a look at structured conversation, but we're going to extend it into extended discourse. In a few of the classrooms today, Rosanna and I observed students agreeing and disagreeing with one another. And this little boy was so funny, he said to his partner, I respectfully agree with you. a conversation, I can't have a fluid conversation, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. I don't know how to maintain a conversation unless I know the procedures and routines. Once I get those procedures, routines in place, then we can start thinking about higher order questions to maintain and sustain an academic conversation or extended discourse. How's the pacing? Too fast, too slow? Just fine, hang in there. I want you to observe the video. You're going to come back to your seat, but before you do, let me give you a task first. What's the task? Well, the task is observe this video clip. It's 3 episodes, and it's very quick. It's going to be high, intermediate, and primary. I'd like you to observe for the structures that the teacher had focused in the classroom to maintain a fluid conversation. I'd like you to be able to think about what were the skills established in order for kids to participate in this conversation. How might I clarify the task for you? Ladies, it's a true pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Thank you so much. Say thank you to your partners. Come back to your seats, please.
Thank you, guys. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you, Linda. I love you.
Are you filming the video?
Thanks for such a good thing. I wonder if it works. What? That's such a good thing. It's easy. Oh, you use that. There's your glass. Oh, that's...
Campaign commercial for So what I want you to do right now is, I want you to turn it top and discuss why you think Mary Ann Hoberman used this to lock her poem. What does the alliteration do for this poem? What is its purpose? Let's turn it up.
Because it makes it sound like a soft sound. Well, yeah, it's sort of like the same thing, only I sort of think that like it's sort of like the S sound sort of sounds like it was pretty and like sort of like gets like you're putting on a figure and like sort of like looks like yeah. Also, what I was thinking these sounds also kids are told us that You also look at simply the same strategy, except you're kind of like doing stretching for the shape. Like we're doing the strategy in different shapes. Were you a mathematician who represents our like one thing? What I did was like you first decompose them. Like so you really decompose and then you compose them. You definitely first and then compose them. I decompose it. So when I did this one, I took a look. It's galaxy tricks. It's a little bit different. You know what? I composed them, still using the same thing. Like I was confused, but I was still using the same. Because then you can see how I first I actually added them together. So and then you kind of decompose. You first decompose them and added them. Because see if you compose first, there's a different number that you get to compose together, so it's harder. But if you decompose, you get different numbers that you compose, which makes it easier. But you have to choose ones you decompose carefully, otherwise it can make it harder. Yeah, that's actually pretty good
I love this one because it really is not my frame, your frame, my frame. It's not your turn, my turn, my turn, your turn, and very stilted. It really is. They're having a conversation. So quickly think, whether you liked it or not, what were some structures or skills that were taught? What were some things that those students needed to be able to understand, to be able to interact with one another? So quickly, there's no right answer to this. There's no wrong answer, but I'd like you to self-reflect upon this video, but quickly share with a shoulder partner. Your task is to share. We've been working on SMART. We've been working on core response. We've been working on think, pair, share. We've been working on number testing. By the way, the difference between a shout out and a core response is a very crisp, clean, ask a question, don't shout out, think, respond simultaneously. A shout is just asking kids questions. So when you think about a core response, think, pair, share, number test together, and this, if you were talking about discussion frames, quickly reflect with your triad about how did it go in your classroom. What worked well? What were some challenges? Based on that graphic organizer, choose one or two aspects to share. However, equal airtime. Make sure all three partners are able to share up. What worked well? What were some challenges? Or if you did not practice, what hindered you from practicing? Quickly do so. You only have 3 minutes for this conversation.
Sure, Gwen. How about